Shelby Payne. I was diagnosed in 2004. I am from California, and I'm a snowboarder. I was a very active kid growing up. I loved to play soccer and snowboard. And right around Christmas time, I was snowboarding a bunch with friends. Every time that we'd get to the top of the hill, I would just book it down and get down as fast as I could so I could run to the bathroom before my friends would get down, and then we could get back on the lift and ride up again. 2 days later, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. I kind of credit that story with how I got better at snowboarding and how I was pushed to race down the mountain. I was diagnosed on Christmas Day in 2004. I still remember being piggybacked into the hospital by my mother. And I got to the hospital and they checked my blood sugar, and it was 1,300, which was a number that they hadn't heard of at the hospital before. The first 2 questions that I asked when I was diagnosed were whether or not I was gonna live, and they told me yes, and whether or not I was gonna be able to play soccer, and they told me again yes. Those 2 things, I was like, all right, life will be okay, and I'm just gonna take this disease and run with it. I had been stalking Right on Insulin and Sean Busby on Facebook, so we had been messaging a little bit. I was like, hey, I'm Shelby, I play soccer, and I'd love to meet up with you, and Sean got back to me, and we both happened to be going to New Zealand around the same time. I had an internship at a soccer academy there. And I remember talking with Molly back and forth, and their flight got in at 2 a.m. and they didn't have a ride. So my sister and I went to the airport at 2 a.m. and picked up Sean and a couple of his friends. And that's how we met. They crashed at our house in New Zealand, and the host family we were staying with asked if these were friends of ours. We're like, yeah, great friends of ours. And we had just met that night. So it was just an instant connection, an instant bond. And from there, I just went to Right on Insulin camps and started helping out with coaching snowboarding. And then I am here now as an elite coach and just stoked to be here. Diabetes has been one of those things that has been super challenging, but super rewarding in the end. I think it can be taken 2 ways. I think it can be something that's very burdensome and something that can be a huge negative in your life, or you can take it and let it be something that empowers you. It gives you that motivation to get something done. Anything is possible. It just takes a little bit extra work, a little more responsibility, but it's pretty fun to show people what we can do with type 1.